So good morning, grade 10 students. In this presentation, we're going to talk about our new chapter, which is about the plants. So we talk about plants, we talk about the nutritional needs of the green plants. So what happens if a horse gets hungry? We said that it will nibble grass. What happens if a tiger gets hungry? What does it do? It will hunt a prey. So what about you if you get hungry? Sure, either you cook food, sure you don't, or you are going to order food. Sure, you are going to do this as Muhammad and Ibrahim do. So these are the different needs of the green plant. They need light, they need water, they need CO2, and they need minerals. So green plants, they are the plants that contain the green chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? It's the pigment in the green plant that allows to absorb the sunlight. So let's start with a series of experiments showing the different needs of the green plants in this presentation. So the first experiment, its objective is to study the importance of water for the growth of green plants. First, we have two plants. One of them, it contains water, plant 1. Plant 2, it's found in the dry season. There is no water. The plant will grow slowly and finally it will die. So this table of condition you have to complete it. Complete the table of condition. Both of them, they contain CO2. Both of them, they contain light. One of them contain water and the other lacking water. So the one that contain all the condition will grow normally, and the one that's lacking water, it will grow slowly and eventually it will die. So what is the variable factor in these two experiments? Is water. Compare the aspect, meaning that compare the appearance. The plants one that are water, they are tall and green, while those that are not water, which are plant 2, they are shorter and they are yellow. Analysis, after watering plants 1 and 2, plant 1 grow tall, while plant 2, they grow slowly and become yellow and die. So conclusion here, that the green plants, they need water in order to grow tall and green. Green plants and minerals. So objective of this experiment is to study the importance of mineral salts for the growth of green plants. We have two plants, A and B. Plant A is placed inside distilled water, meaning that there is no mineral salts, lacking mineral salts, while plant B is found in mineral water that contains minerals. So the table of condition, both of them, they contain water. Both of them, they contain light. Both of them, they contain CO2. But the variable factor, that plant A, it lacks mineral salts. There is no mineral salts. While in plant B, it contains mineral salts. So the one that contains all the favorable conditions, it grows slowly, while plant B, it will grow rapidly. So plant A, lacking the mineral salts, will grow slowly, while plant B, having all the favorable conditions, will grow rapidly. So the variable factor in this experiment, sure, is the mineral salts. So plant A that's grown in distilled water, they are short, while those that's grown in water rich and mineral salts, they are tall. How can we analyze the obtained results? With distilled water only, the plant A doesn't grow well. Yet, with water rich in mineral salts, the plant B grows fast. So the second conclusion here is green plant, they need mineral salts to grow fast. Here is the second conclusion for our lesson, which is plants, as my background is about plants. So, green plants and light. The study objective of this experiment is to study the importance of light for the growth of green plants. We have two plants, plant 1 that's placed in darkness, and plant 2 that's placed in the presence of the sunlight. Plant 1 that's placed in a dark box or black box that prevents the light from reaching to the plant. 8 days later, the plant, they are yellow and they are not well developed. Yet, in the presence of light, the plant, after 8 days, it's green and well developed. So what is the variable factor? What is the analysis and the conclusion? Before we start, let's move to the table of condition. Both of them, they contain water, plant 1 and plant 2. Both of them, they contain CO2. Both of them, they are placed for 8 days, but the variable is the light. In plant 1, we don't have light. The light is absent. We lack light. While in plant 2, Muhammad Hassan, the green plants, they have light. So the green plants in plant 2, they have all the favorable conditions. So it will grow normally, it will be well developed, and will be tall and green in color. While plant 1 that's lacking light will become yellow and not well developed. So the variable factor is going to be the light. The plant 1 that's grown in darkness is yellow and not well developed, while plant 2 that's grown in presence of light, they are green and well developed. Analysis of the obtained results. In the absence of light, plant 1 becomes yellow and is not well developed, while in the presence of light, plant 2 grows green and is well developed. So, draw out a conclusion. Green plant, they need light to grow well and to remain green in color. Fourth experiment. Fourth experiment, talking about the objective is to study the importance of CO2 for the growth of green plants. So we have two plants, 1 and 2, A and B. A contains all the favorable conditions. It's green in color, it's tall, it's growing normal, it grows normally, while plant 2 or plant B, it grows up normally. It has yellow color, it's short. Why? Because here we have potassium hydroxide. The role of potassium hydroxide, you have to know it. It absorbs carbon dioxide from the air. So by absorbing carbon dioxide, there is no CO2. So this plant, plant B, it lacks CO2. So the variable factor here is the CO2, since it's present in A and absent in B, which lead to this variable results. So indicate the variable, it's carbon dioxide, CO2. And plant A that's grown in the presence of this variable, carbon dioxide, stolen green, while plant B that's grown in the absence, it withers and becomes yellowish. So the conclusion, they need CO2. So as a conclusion, you have to know that green plant, they need 4 essential elements. They need water, they need mineral salts, they need CO2, and they need light to grow well. Now let's move to the other part of our experiment, of our lesson about the absorption of water. Then we have 3 tubes. 3 tubes, tube A containing water and it's covered by clay. Tube B containing a plant which has leaves, roots, and stems, and is placed in water and covered by clay. Tube C containing a plant that has leaves and stem but without roots. First of all, if I ask you what is the role of the tube A is a control tube. What is its role? Its role is to compare and explain the different experimental results. Tube B and tube C, what's the variable between them? Tube B has roots, while tube C it doesn't. So after 2 days, the level of water in tube A remains the same, while in tube B it drops to a lower level, it decreases. What does this mean? This means that the plant absorbs the water. The plant absorbs water, while in tube A there is no plant, so there is no absorption of water. Why? Tube B and tube C, the level of water, it remains approximately the same. Why? Because here we have roots, here we don't have roots. So here the difference is the presence or the absence of the roots. So the roots, they are responsible for the absorption. So compare tube A to tube B, both of them, they have the same level of water. Tube A doesn't contain plant, while tube B, it contains a plant. The role of tube A, as I said, it's a control tube used to compare and explain the different experimental results. Part 3, compare the level of water in tubes A and B at the end of the experiment. The level of water without plant remains the same, while tube B, it drops or decreases. What may conclude the green plant absorbs water, while the factor between B and C variable is the presence of the roots. So in plant B we have roots, in C we don't have roots. So level of water in tube C where the plant doesn't have roots remains the same, while in tube B where the plant has roots, has dipped in water, the level drops to a lower level. So which is the structure responsible for the absorption? It's sure the roots. So now let's move closer to the roots. Which part of the root? The root cap or the root hairs is responsible for this? We have 2 plants here, 1 and 2. 1, the root cap and the root hairs, they are placed in water and the plant grows normally. While here, the root hairs, they are placed in oil, while the root cap is placed in water. It dies. What does this mean? So the variable factor, it's the part of the root, whether the root hair or the root cap is dipped in water. Distinguish the conditions to which both plants, plant 1, the root hairs and the root cap are dipped in water, but in plant 2, the root hairs are dipped in oil and the root cap is dipped in water. So after dipping the root hairs and the root cap in water, the green plant grows normally, while after dipping the root hairs in oil and the root cap in water, the plant withers and dies. So what is the conclusion here? Not the roots. There is a special part of the roots, whether the root cap or the root hairs. When we have the root hairs in the water, it grows normally. When the root cap in the water, it dies. This means that the root hairs are responsible for the absorption of water in green plants. Okay? So let's move now to transpiration in green plants. What's the meaning of transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water vapor through some plant organs. Which organs? Let's say transpiration is the loss of water vapor through some plant organs. Which organs? Let's discover together. In this experiment, we have two plants. One of them contains leaves, and the second one, which is plant B, has no leaves. Both of them, they are covered with a plastic bag, transparent plastic cover bag, and they are covered with bag. After a few minutes, water droplets, they are formed on the inner walls of the plastic bag covering plant A, while we don't have water droplets on the no water droplets are formed on the inner walls of the plastic bag covering plant B. So we have water droplets in A, while we don't have water droplets in B. So which structure? First of all, you have to know what's the variable factor. The difference between plants A and B, that plant A contains contains leaves, while plant B, it doesn't. In which plastic bag water vapor is formed? In the one that contains leaves, which is plant 1. Reduce the part. Leaves, no leaves. With leaves, we have water droplets. With no leaves, there is no water droplets. So the variable or the part is the leaves. To complete the following statement, through the process of transpiration, green plants, they release water vapor. From there, which organ? This is our aim in this experiment, to determine which organ through their leaves. So the leaves are responsible for the process of transpiration. Let's move now to chapter 2, supply of chlorophyll plants with mineral substances. Root absorption of water and mineral salts. First of all, you have to know these terms. What the meaning of green plants? Green plants, they mean chlorophyll plants containing the green pigment chlorophyll. Heterotrophs, non-green plants, they are non-chlorophyll, missing the chlorophyll. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which the chlorophyll plants, they produce their own organic matter by the process of photosynthesis from inorganic matter, from mineral source. NOx solution. What is the NOx solution? It's the liquid that contains all the minerals needed for the normal growth of the plant. So this is a liquid supplied for the plant containing all the minerals needed for the growth, like NPK. NPK is an example about the NOx solution. NPK, N codes for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, K for potassium. So NPK. Heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, one of these example about heterotrophs is fungi. So fungi, they cannot grow in the mineral medium. They need organic substances like glucose, sucrose, and others. The growth of the fungus increases in the presence of sugars. So they take sugars and minerals. Very high and very low temperature inactivate the growth of fungi. The optimum temperature for their growth is the room temperature. It's about 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Light has no effect on the growth of the fungus. What is a photometer? Photometer, it's an apparatus or it's a device that's used to measure the quantity of the water absorbed in the plant through the roots of the stem. Okay, moving to activity 2, root absorption by mycorrhizae. So what is a mycorrhizae? Mycorrhizae is symbiotic association between a fungus and plant. What the meaning of symbiotic? Symbiotic means that For example, we have Muhammad and Mahdi. Muhammad and Mahdi, they have a symbiotic relationship. What's the meaning of this? Meaning that Muhammad can give Mahdi an eraser and Mahdi can give Muhammad a pen. So this is called a symbiotic relationship, a relationship that depends on giving and taking the substances. So this is called a symbiotic relationship. The length of ash trees or the length of trees in the presence of mycorrhizae, it's much greater than that in the absence of the mycorrhizae. So we can conclude that the mycorrhizae is beneficial. It's very important for the growth or for the length of green plants. It's important for the growth of green plants, this mycorrhizae. Activity 3 about the transport of the crude sap. First, what is the crude sap? And what the meaning of crude sap? Crude sap. The water and the mineral ions that are taken by the roots from the soil, they move to the leaves. This mineral solution is called the crude sap. Water and mineral ions that are taken from the roots up to the stem and then to the leaves. They have a special tissue that conduct this crude sap. They are called conducting tissue. We call them xylem. Xylem is the conducting tissue that transport the crude sap, conduct the crude sap in an ascending transport or an upward from where to where? From the roots up to the stem and then to the leaves. This is called an ascending transport. They are found, these xylem, they are found in the root, stem, and leaves. Mainly they are composed of vessels. As I said, crude sap has an ascending transport from where to where? From the roots up to the stem and then to the leaves. Activity number 5, talking about transpiration. Already we said that transpiration is the process through which we have liberation of water vapor through specific parts of the plant, which are the leaves. Stomata, the site of exchange and circulation. What are stomata? Stomata, they are tiny openings or tiny pores in the plant tissue that allow for the exchange of gases. They are mainly found in the leaves, but also some of them they can be found in the stems. What do? These stomata, they are surrounded by special cells. They are called the bodyguard of the stomata. They are called the guard cells. They help to open or close the stomata. Stomata, they are very tiny pores. They open and they close according to specific circumstances. We will discover this. So these circumstances, as I said, they affect the opening or the closure of the stomata. The stomata allow a plant to take in carbon dioxide, which is needed for the process of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis process can't occur without the help of stomata. Stomata help or allows the plant to absorb or to take in CO2 needed for the process of photosynthesis. So here we have the transpiration is linked to the opening of stomata. We have opening of the stomata, we have transpiration, and other, they affect the transpiration. Factors that affect transpiration, they are light, number 1. Light favors the opening of the stomata and the vaporization of the transpired water. Temperature. As the temperature increases, transpiration rate increases up to 30 degrees. Above 30, the stomata close to keep the water inside the plant. Number 3, state of the soil. Drop in the humidity or the temperature of the soil reduces the absorption and establish water deficiency. What the meaning of water deficiency? Meaning that we have a low amount of water. So whenever we have drop in the humidity or the temperature of the soil, it reduces absorption and establish what is known by water deficiency, low amount of water. Whenever we have low amount of water, here the plant will close the stomata. The stomata will close. Why? To keep the water inside the plant and to prevent their loss. So if we don't want to lose the water, the stomata will close to keep the water. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this session, and keep with me. We're going to move to another session for exercises, for questions.